Okay, so first back in 11th fucking grade, man, I jumped on stage and I showed people I got the brain to rap.
Hey, this is Madrid. This is my first interview, and I'm about to give you some information about who I am.
On stage, man, I had a blast. Didn't give a fuck if I was last. You know what they're saying that
What inspired you to start music?
Just the idea of creativity and artistry. I've listened to a lot of rap growing up, a lot of different music growing up, different genres, and I just really fell in love with the idea of creating and creating my own. And I really enjoyed it also, being 16 years old and all.
Who are your inspirations?
My inspirations would be, for music, I listen to a lot of Wiz Khalifa, just because like how his flows are. I really like how his flows are. Obviously, I'm really pro weed, so that's another thing. I've been to a lot of his concerts and just like how chill he is and his personality. I listen to a lot of I listen to some like Travis Scott kind of stuff. Dark, I like Dark Thing, Juicy J, all the new people.
Which song on your project did you have the most enjoy working on?
The one I most enjoyed working on was Grown, because in a way I feel like I'm kind of like talking crap to all the people who talk down to me and like kind of treat me like a kid. It's kind of funny because I'm not a kid, obviously. I'm a grown teenager, but in the song I'm not a kid no more. I pretty much just tell them straight up. But it's a good flow and it's a good freestyle, and I did enjoy doing that one. I was high and I was just going with it. And I did that in one take, by the way. One take. And then I did the ad-libs another take, but yeah.
When did you start making music?
When I was 16, in junior year. I forgot exactly. I downloaded some kind of like app. And I wanted this app to be like really, really basic and just recording, just like one big recording, and while a beat played over it, while they had it over a song. And I found it right away. I used that for three of my songs. All four of the songs. For those songs. I used the fifth one on a different kind of like editing app because I have effects for the vocals on there.
What inspired the title of your first project?
First night show? It's because I had my first night show for real in high school. It was like a winter talent show kind of thing, and I was just like, I got the right idea to do a verse, and I did, like I normally do. I just go with my ideas, but I did it, and it was my first night show, and I really like that. And plus that shit like reminds me of like some Travis Scott shit too, and that's where I got that picture from. Was from one of the girls who were there.
What's like a good memory you have of like performing? Like one where maybe you were more nervous or like, but then like you got on stage and you kind of felt yourself. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. The first time I performed at that winter talent show thing, I was nervous. I really was, cause I knew people in that artist, like, alright, not in the area, in the crowd. I knew people in there, and even friends were in there, and it was the first night too. My first, performance debut.
Do you have a favorite song that you like to perform? Like
Off my project?
Yeah.
Nonsense Freestyle. I like doing that one because although some of the things, like, I don't know, the things I'm rapping about in there, people would say would like be categorized in the word of nonsense, I guess, the definition of nonsense, but it's fun, it's funny, because just the things I'm saying is kind of gangster, I think so. Pretty dope.
they call me Madrid.
I Don't Care is kind of like a intro kind of song. It's one of the freestyles that I ever did, and I just like really worked with it. I even changed the tone of my freestyle. I put it really, really low so it sounds really, really dark, and I really like how it came out. The beat's pretty dark too, so it just fits perfectly, and I felt like it was a perfect intro. And it's just like saying a lot just about like I don't care, because It has a stereotype kind of thing into it. Like it's my own interpretation of like talking about pussy, money, and weed. The nonsense freestyle is just like something someone would say about my words, my lyrics. If someone listened to that song and they just had a whole different type of perspective of rap or whatever, they'd be like, "Oh, this is just nonsense," Or if someone didn't like fuck with my music, people would just listen to this and be like, "Oh, it's just nonsense." So I guess that would be kind of my definition of my verse in there. It's fairly short, but it's pretty dope. Grown freestyle is kind of it's kind of like me just talking shit, talking back to whoever talks down of me or didn't believe in me. I'm grown, so obviously I'm not a kid, but I talk about like how I'm not a kid anymore. I'm just like using it as kind of a metaphor, but in reality it's also an experience from the past, also with friends or even older peers, and it was pretty dope. It's a pretty good flow, and I did that one freestyle all in one, and then I did the ad-libs all in one too.
Be yourself.
Okay, this one's pretty cool just cause it's pretty slow tempoed and it's pretty deep too. The second verse is a freestyle that I did, but I freestyled and wrote the hook for the first one of the ones that I like wrote too. People would say that I'm mean because I like that kind of being big and mean, dark and mean, just being like a monster, just being dope, I guess, being gangster. You don't know. It's sweet, it's painful, and I like how I wrote that one. Like I really did write that one. The flow was different, but I transformed it with my writing, and it came out pretty good. And I'm actually gonna perform that one soon. For my next project, I want it to be kind of like, I want to share like pain, I guess. Write painfully, I guess. Not pain for me or anything, but just, I don't know, like if you heard it, but it's pretty dope. It's kind of like dark and painful, kind of. I guess people would say like that. I would say, but it kind of leads off from my next project.
Your next project, that your sound will evolve from your first project.
Of course, cause you always change and become better as the more you work on it, and I've experienced that for sure, just with this first project, and I feel like I can create something better. I want new listeners to perceive my sound as a kind of like a calm, kind of drifty kind of thing. The first ones on my last project were just kind of like trials, but for this new project, I want it to be a message. I want to be straightforward, but I want to do it in like a calmly manner and a dark kind of manner. For my first project, I did one video for my first project, just messing around, but I love how it came out. It came out pretty dark. I have like we did it at a church. It's pretty dope. It's dark. Me and my friend, we did it like on one of the cliffs here in Belen, and I do negative on it, white and black negative. It looks so sick. But it was all done on a phone, so amateur stuff for real. And I don't know, but I definitely want to do future music videos. Yeah. 5 years, I see myself. Man, it's kind of hard because you can't predict the future. But I don't think I have goals for 5 years. I just see myself doing all right, like I am now. Hopefully, I get better in better situations. It would be amazing to see a crowd because I see videos and I see these superstars and big old oceans of people. Even back then with rock stars, like that stuff's crazy. It's unimaginable. I want to be in a studio though. So it has to be studio stuff, That's where Unbearable is gonna be. It's gonna be a studio album.
Speaking of Unbearable, when can we expect to hear that?
2018. That's all I got. My name is Antonio Madrid. You can find my music at soundcloud.com/Madrid505. You can find me on Instagram as The Real Madrid with the DA. Cause I am the Real Madrid. So that's a wrap.